So great. So let me come to my next topic, which is about how social media is basically a very intrinsic part of app marketing, because social media is a gold mine for marketers in terms of the demographics of the prospects and how they use it and the interest and everything. So I'll start with Deeksha. If she could share some great examples for the marketing students of how apps have used social media uh, basically to market in a really innovative way.
Right. So, like I will give you certain examples of the various industries, how social media is become the main platform and how it is emerging from time to time to actually, create an audience and to connect with the audience, because connecting is very important for any marketer to sell anything, any app, or be it any business, any product or service. It is very important to connect with your customer, to know their customer, to know the understanding the psychology of a customer, and what exactly are they looking for. And if it solves any problem, then it's amazing. So now coming to the problem, like to start with Bumble as well as Tinder. So these are the apps. So the business model of Bumble is very simple and easy, that they are the dating apps, both of them. But Bumble identified that females are a bit, hesitant whenever they start the conversation first. So the kind of, the business model is based on that fact that a female would start the conversation, then only you can actually, you being the guy, you can actually then only reply to her. That's what is based on. So they identified this. Apart from that, if you look at the kind of social media campaigns that they're running, it's amazing. They actually try to create a female centric social media campaign every time. The kind of post that is like they do, the kind of strategies that they take, the kind of ads that they're running, it's all about their business model that they're promoting up to various people, and at the same time connecting with them. After understanding the customer psychology, they know that how can we connect to various people and what exactly are the needs that we are resolving over here. So first, as I said, is Bumble and Tinder. Then secondly, if you go to food segment, some one of the basic and the major apps that is actually leading in the market is Zomato. Everybody right now has Zomato. They knew that people are looking for we actually used to call the restaurants when Zomato wasn't there. So we used to call the restaurants and ask if you give us the delivery, if there is any free delivery option, or if you can take the charges and give us the food delivery option. They identified the problem and immediately started with their this whole business model. Now whenever it comes to marketing, it's not just a particular platform they are using. So they are using Facebook, they're using Instagram, they're using Twitter mostly. So why using Twitter? Twitter looks like a very niche market over here, but actually Twitter is doing amazing for various apps. How? It's creating stories, it's connecting with people. So if people are putting up anything or as a post, Zomato is actually trying to link it up for them. So people can actually post anything related to any problem that they have, anything, any issues that have come up, or even the good reviews that they can. Right. So Zomato is always there to help and engage with them, not just help them out. So I remember this very small incident that happened during a lockdown. A woman posted on their on Twitter that her puppy was taken by a Zomato guy. So she had a dog and she thought that a Zomato guy had actually stolen her dog. So Zomato came in front of it and apologized and said that we are not involved in that and we are very sorry if it if your puppy got lost, but we are not involved in it, and if we'll actually do something if we can find your dog back, although they got it back after later on. That was a separate story altogether. But this is how the brand image is built. Customers realize that Zomato is not just there, an app that is selling food and it's earning profit. It's all actually helping us out. It is actually there for us and it understands us. So it's kind of a build a customer relationship, right? Similar to this, although social media is also being used by Netflix a lot, there was these brand moments that happen on Twitter, wherein brands automatically get involved with each other and they try to create a story out of it to understand and to see how customers are also getting engaged. It's all a part of customer engagement when that matters. Then coming to other app, which has actually changed the way we make payments, is Paytm. So Paytm is something that we could have never thought of digitalizing any normal rickshaw puller, any normal grocery store, or any regular person who doesn't know how to use a mobile phone as well. Right now, they have Paytm in it. So this is something really big. Monetizing the way we use money, digitalizing the money pattern. I understand that demonetization was also a very big part that it played a very big part into it. But Paytm being the first this digital payment platform for us, it really helped us to do so. And apart from that, the kind of marketing that they did, the app marketing, it was amazing. The kind of social media platform was the way it was utilized. It was amazing, the kind of ads that were being run on each and every platform, be it social media, be it Facebook. So they have actually marked a big example in the whole industry that you can sell anything and create a need out of it as well. So you can actually create a need in the mind of users, even though initially the need wasn't there. And then we have like Urban Clap. That is one of my favorite examples because somehow Urban Clap is putting up all their good amount of money in their marketing efforts. They have created a need not just in tier 3, tier 2 cities, tier 1 cities, but the point is that they are going remotely as well. Now they are pulling really hard to go to reach to each and every smaller city, which is really important. Diversification, right? Through social media itself, because they know that right now, even if people are not, the small town people are not using Google, they are not well acquainted with Google, but they are well acquainted with Facebook, which is big thing. They know the number of user base that is there, and the amount of video ads that are being run by Urban Clap, the kind of discount offers, the kind of campaigns that they run on Instagram. It's something that all the app marketers must take examples, must take ideas from. Now that is something depending on of course the kind of target audience, but you must take examples of all these apps, and that will help you really to create your own strategy. But first, know your audience. That's my important point.
Great. Bhagyashree, could you share some good example?
So there are two things that I want to talk about. If we decide to leverage social media for app marketing, one strongest one of the strongest ways is to make use of influencers, right? Because 90% of the consumers, what they say is that they get more trust when a recommendation is coming from a person they either follow or they get inspired by them. For example, if we talk about any app that is being maybe recommended by Milind Suman, since he's into fitness. So we also see that pattern happening, right? Be it for brand ambassador or for influencers, we take help of to market any of the products. We make sure that that particular influencer is into that industry or consuming a lot of content of that industry or a product of that industry. Then only we make sure that we make him make him or her an ambassador, or maybe use him, yeah, help, ask his help, to become a influencer. So we can always check on the influencer part. If we want to market and get some expected outcome, then influencers play a really good role here. And if we do not if you do not get into influencer industry, and if we want to go solo and we want to market our product directly, then Airbnb is the best example here, because social media is something where people come on the platform to spend some leisure time, right? To know some good stories, or to watch some videos, or read some content, something of that sort. So the way we can leverage social media here is to give them a story which is connected to them, and also which is going to connect a feature, an important feature of a product. Airbnb is into traveling, so they are showing up a lot of beautiful stories on social media, especially of traveling, because they're gonna create their motto is to create a dream for the customer. So how he's going to feel if he goes to this particular place, how he's going to live in if he's going to rent out an Airbnb. How easy is it for him to rent out an Airbnb, or already book it on Airbnb, than go there and look for an accommodation. So one feature that they've taken here is about friendliness, or maybe taking less time to book it, to locate it. So these are two features that have taken from Airbnb product, and they've built a story around it, right? So how we can connect it is we need to understand the user journey, for which we need to understand who are our audience, for which we need to create maybe set of personas, what they do, where they want to go, what is their income, how much they want to spend, what is their affordability, is it a family, is it a couple, is it a corporate event, what is it, how, who we gonna market this to, who are we going to communicate. So if we're going to communicate this to maybe a couple, then probably we're going to have a story, maybe a romantic story built around this, and also connect a particular feature, maybe the strongest feature of that app, which is going to fit very well in this story. That is what Airbnb has done. So, and also Uber has done. So looking at Uber, Ola also did something similar, but Uber is something which has also built a story around it. So two important things that we can always play around and try out on social media is to bring out a story that's going to connect to the customer, bring out a story that's also explain the usage of your product and also the benefit of your product. If this is not something you want to do, if you're not too strong on your content, then take help of influencers who can do this for you. And also, if you want to select the influencers, there are a lot of parameters that you need to check: their history, the quality of the audience, that what kind of followers they have, how many followers they have, do they have followers from India or from UK, US. If your market is India and you have followers from UK, then there's no point selecting that influencer. So these are the again, a lot of other parameters also go into to see whether this particular influencer is into this industry or not. If you want to talk about cosmetic product, app for the cosmetic, for example, Nika, then you cannot take some sportsman or someone as your influencer, right? Even if they have a follower base, you cannot. You need to either go for someone who is in fashion industry, because you also need to see the connectivity, because you will get a similar follower base. So that is also strategy. When you want to make a strategy based on influencers, then there is a research goes behind. If you want to make storytelling as your strategy on social media, then there is a different set of research that goes behind. So what kind of research we're going to do, what kind of audience we are targeting, and what is the income affordability of that of the audience, and what type of product I have, what type of app I have, what is the use of it, is it a leisure app, is it app which is like basic necessity, for example transaction, phone pay, Google Pay, or is it like Airbnb, which is mostly used once in a year, or maybe thrice in a year. If you have a lot of money, you use it thrice in a year. So what is it? Depending on that, we're gonna build strategy. Strategy is not something which is just random that comes, okay, it is Nika, so I'm gonna have an influencer who is into fashion industry and I'm gonna start my campaign. It is not gonna work this way. If you want your campaign to make wonders, then you need to get into maybe like 60% of research, 20% of strategy, then goes 20% for execution, or maybe 15% execution and 5% reporting. So we need to divide this time for what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do, who I'm gonna, communicate this to. So this is very important before we select how we're gonna use or leverage social media.
Great. Yeah, I think very good points about the personas that you all have made, that identify that how they use social media and build a story around it. Uh, when you're using an influencer, obviously you get their audience base, how they are using the product or service in a natural setting. So it really, I mean, opens up in terms of a marketer. There is so much within a social media than just a plain campaign where you're just using an ad or something like that. So yeah, definitely. Yes. Teacher, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. So I would like to add on to what Bhagyashree said. Actually, like whenever this is just a general information for any user. So whenever we build a marketing campaign on social media, it's very important to keep one thing in mind, and that is entertainment. So people go on social media for entertainment. Now this social media which I'm talking about is mainly Facebook and Instagram. So you need to identify what your audience is exactly. If you are putting any post on Instagram or Facebook, always remember that do not put up any post that doesn't relate to your user, and any post that that is serious in nature, professional in nature, that wouldn't work over there. If you want to put up anything professional or serious, then you must go for LinkedIn if your audience is a bit professional in nature. Otherwise, on social media, that is the Instagram and Facebook, you must always look for, trying to engage users, put up videos and posts that people might like, any story, any video which is related to entertainment. There have been multiple pages that started from actually just basic entertainment. Those pet lovers, those pet pages started from all. Unilad is one of them. So it started from all those putting up those pet posts, and right now, once it had 1.2 million followers on their page, they actually went into advertising and started selling their t-shirts, their merchandise. So that's how it works. You have to create a kind of audience, you have to create a kind of what do we call, a group of people must be associated with you, and then you can actually sell, you can actually either link or sell or do advertising or anything that you want. But first thing that you must keep in your mind is that what is the kind of audience that you're connecting to. So whenever you look for any sort of engagement, any sort of the user mentality is, or the demographics or the age is approximately 25 years or 30 years, so go for social media platforms and provide entertainment through any source. Otherwise, it's like it won't work well.